The last few weeks, it feels like while we've been recording, Discord just said no or figure it out on your own.
Discord is
figure it out.
They I don't know. They like to see us struggle a little bit. Like to see us sweat.
Discord just wants a repeat of that bit we had a few months back where it disconnected on all of us, but we were all recording still, so nobody could hear each other, but we were still just talking. You remember that?
Yep, I remember that. I remember.
So good. Great
having a really intimate conversation, and all of a sudden, hello? Anyone there?
Guys. Good times. Hey, speaking of good times, it's me and Justin again. Everyone else is gone.
Woo! Day 14 of only us two. Woo! Woo! Yeah.
This is fine. I feel like we do a bang up job together.
I certainly try my best. Also, audience, it might be like this for a hot while.
Well, Jordy's on indefinite hiatus anyway, so you can never expect him to show up in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
It's really a 4-man cast anyway at this point.
Mm-hmm. Now we've lost half the staff.
Well, it's summertime. Vacations happen. This is when people save up all their vacation time and take off work. In fact, I myself won't be here next week, so you might be running a solo cast. Or we'll just be taking a week off. Not that they'll know because we have a backup.
I mean,
a backlog.
Don't you have like a second vacation after that first one?
That's in August. That's future us problems.
Sir, August is in like 2 weeks?
Nah. Well, it's like, yeah, but it's in the middle of August. So we got a month before that one. We're fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, wish me luck, please. I will do this alone. I won't like it. And neither will you probably, but I'll do it.
If you say so. Anyway, we're here. While we're here, enjoy our company, because we won't all be here forever. You think someone listened to us on the moon one day or in space? Surely.
I mean, by the odds, it's like, okay, we have a bunch of international listeners. Surely, at least one of them has got to be on the International Space Station.
Gotta be. Statistically, there is a non-0% chance that someone on the ISS watches us.
Exactly.
Anyway, enough daydreaming. On to the summary. All right, kids. This one's going to be a short and sweet one, so listen up. With the help of Bon Clay's cheering, along with the rest of the Newkama Land's denizens, Luffy manages to make a miraculous recovery within a mere 20 hours. Naturally, the first thing out of his mouth when he wakes up is food. Despite having eaten several days' worth of food, Luffy is far from 100%. But that's nothing a little help from the Horm fruit can't fix. After finding out he is Dragon's son, Ivankov, a commander in the Revolutionary Army, by the way, and Inazuma agree to help Luffy break Ace out. The trio easily make their way down to Ace's cell in level 6, all while alerting Magellan of their plan. Unfortunately, when they arrive at Ace's cell, they've learned they had just missed him and he's already being moved for transport. Luffy realizes the opportunity to rescue Ace from Impel Down has passed and resolves he'll just have to get Ace back from Navy HQ. The new problem at hand now is a staircase leading up has been sealed off and is filled with sleeping gas, but our old pal Crocodile is more than willing to help with that for the small price of freedom. Time remaining before Ace's execution, 6 hours.
Dum 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 bum bum. Just insert 24 countdown noises here.
Stop. I don't want to hear any more about 24.
A part of me wants to go back and like attempt to watch and just be like, what did my mom see in the show?
No.
Has to be good. It ran for like 10 plus years.
It doesn't have to be good. It doesn't.
Surely it has to be good. It ran for like quite a significant amount of time, and then I think it had a little bit of a break.
Walking Dead is going on like 10 seasons now, dude. That shit hasn't been good since season like 4 at maximum.
What a controversial opinion.
I don't feel like
on
it
a show I don't watch. Surely a show that goes on for 10 seasons has to be good, right?
No. It just makes money. Makes money doesn't mean good. It just means people are suckers enough sometimes to watch it. Or they're too invested to stop now. They gotta see Daryl hair flip somebody again. Maybe they're just waiting for Daryl to die finally. I don't even know if he has died yet or not. I haven't watched since season 4.
It's crazy, bro. You should catch up.
I won't though.
Just like I should catch up on Fairy Tail, but I won't though.
Yeah, you shouldn't either.
I don't know. I feel like I understand the gripes of Fairy Tail, but like I enjoyed it for the time I was watching. I just fell off the wagon.
You poor misguided soul.
Listen, man, the fights are cool. Power of friendship is cool magic powers. Gray gets. I know Gray gets me and his dad. I wanna live vicariously through Gray for that moment. I think Urza meets her mom too. Want to live vicariously through that too.
But you have that one.
Yeah, but if I squint hard enough, mom could look like a dad. You know.
What?
Anyway, we watched One Piece this week.
Sure. Yeah. One Piece. But very, topic of dads, very relevant this week, actually.
Yeah,
for
man.
once.
For once.
Well, every time your dad gets brought up, it's the extreme lack thereof. And we all point and laugh. But Luffy has a dad. He's just
also absentee.
I'm starting to see some parallels between you and Luffy now. Although he doesn't. We don't know who his mom is either. He hasn't seen her. So maybe you're still different.
I mean, I only see my mom sometimes. But I appreciate you putting me in any slight proximity to a shonen protagonist. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's about the best compliment you'll get out of me. Don't expect it.
All right. So yeah, we watched One Piece. Stuff happened, but also stuff didn't happen. I don't know. I feel like there's a decent amount of like info dumping that I personally appreciate, but I don't know. How do you feel?
I don't even really feel like there was that much info dumping. At one point we get a bunch of names of people that I'm sure we won't meet for 400 episodes out of Ivan. Ivan just kind of lists off a bunch of names of people that are also in level 6 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that we'll meet them while we're here. So
I mean, surely this can't just be another Shiki situation. Surely
it can. Surely it can.
I mean, we're literally in level 6. Like, no
but
way we don't
maybe
run.
Not be though.
Nah. We're totally gonna run into who did I list here? We got the former, I guess, like he wasn't a warden. Wasn't a warden, but like he's basically co-warden. Shiryu of the Rain. Dude was just so bloodthirsty and cruel. Even Magellan was like, "Bro, you gotta stop. You have a problem. You're like actually a what's the word? Not flight risk. What's the word? Just a risk in general.
I don't know. Security risk.
He's a risk to people's welfare, even the ones we don't care about."
Especially those ones.
Dude was just offing people for the fun of it. So they put him in prison, ironically enough. And then some oddly specific names we got dropped were World's Most Dangerous Woman, Catalina Devon. Great Battleship, San Juan Wolf. Nah, he's not here. Devon's not here.
Oh, my bad.
And Heavy Drinker, Vasco Shot. 3 random people.
What a nickname. Yeah. World's Most Dangerous Woman. Great Battleship. Alcoholic Uncle.
I mean, maybe it's a red herring. Maybe he doesn't even consume alcohol. Maybe it's a reference to something else. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he's a hydro homie.
Yeah.
Maybe he consumes copious amounts of water.
Mm-hmm. He never needs a hydration check. He's always hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps that thing on him, and by thing I mean
it's
a bottle of water.
It's a 32-ounce bottle of water.
Mm-hmm. He's one of those dudes who carries like gallon jugs to the gym. It's one of those.
Yeah. Or like a 64-ounce hydro flask or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. They give us this list of names, and I don't know. I can't help but feel like we're not going to meet any of them because like
history.
I don't know. Yeah,
precedence.
Yeah. A lot of that where we just kind of get names and we don't meet them now, but we'll meet them later. And I'm supposed to remember that these names were mentioned 100 episodes prior, but I won't. And when they pop up, I'll go, "Oh, Heavy Drinker, huh? What a stupid name." But then again, I still remember that guy on Bellamy's crew, Big Knife. So with funny names comes core memories. So maybe I will remember Heavy Drinker, Vasco Shot.
Christian, what if I told you one of these days Vasco Shot's gonna make you cry?
No. Oh, I'll cry right now. I'll do it right now. Tears of anger, frustration. But yeah. Well, first of all, why don't we rewind back to the part where I was basically correct about my prediction for Luffy. And his recovery. Just that he would make his recovery basically as Ace was being transported out. I'm pretty sure that's what I said. It was either I don't remember if it was specifically him being moved out of Impel Down. I'm pretty sure is what it was. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that he was about to get executed and then Luffy would wake up. So Luffy wakes up. Only took a grand total of 20 hours, and but I appreciate Bon Clay. He's driving me Bon Clay, that's for sure. He clearly a bro. He stands there, yells at the top of his lungs for a couple of hours, tells him, don't give up. You got to live. The rest of the new, especially those three weirdos that just kept following Bon Clay around and being like, I wonder what this guy's up to. Oh, he's still over there yelling? Pff, fucking idiot. They come back 2 hours later. That guy's still there. They like can't get Bon Clay off their minds. He lives rent free in there.
I mean, to be fair, feelings mutual. All right.
Well, it is his arc basically. So anyway, they eventually draw the attention of all of the rest of the Newkamas. So they join in eventually with Bon Clay's, proclamations of hang in there and you've got to live, Mugi-chan. And eventually he comes out. A bunch of mysterious black liquid pours out of the door and he busts it open, proclaiming meat or food rather. But Ivan attributes Luffy's rapid recovery to all of this ruckus they made outside his door, and I can't help but feel like man, maybe we're not giving enough credit to Luffy here. What's a bunch of yelling gonna do outside his door besides wake him up before his alarm goes off?
Never underestimate the power of positivity.
I don't know, man. I feel like I can appreciate it. We can say it helped to a degree, but for Ivan to basically outright state that the only reason he got out so soon was all this hubbub outside the door feels a little disrespectful to Luffy. I'm just gonna say it.
I see your point. Maybe it's a valid criticism. And I'm okay with that. Luffy gets away with too much. He deserves a little bit of respect. That's all I'm saying. Gotta keep him humble.
We did. We just killed him. We basically just killed him for like the fifth time in this series.
Bro, no. You know what was really humbling? Him thinking he ate 5 days worth of food, got up and he's like, oh, I forgot how to use my legs. Why is the room spinning? And then, Ivan is just like, all right, I can fix that.
Cheat codes.
Hormones for everything.
Yeah, pretty much. He really just said he really just Game Sharked it. Said infinite rare candy glitch.
I mean, he was like, listen, I'm going to give you a bunch of shit ton of adrenaline. This will absolutely body you later, but it's a future you problem.
Yeah, that's a definite future him problem. At which point, but like Ivan said, probably won't matter anymore because he'll either be dead or he'll have accomplished his goal. Maybe he'll at least be out of the current situation, which is what we're looking for.
I remember previously that you and Devin were saying that you didn't imagine a rematch with Magellan was coming. Do you still feel that way?
Did I say that?
I feel like I remember that. It was like Devin was like, I don't think there's going to be a round two, and you agreed with him.
Well, I won't deny it. I guess if I have said it, then I'll stick to my guns. Fuck it. They'll get through somehow.
So no round two.
There's probably going to be a rematch. I mean,
I was very surprised by that call. I'm not saying there is, but I feel like it kind of goes against the shonen formula, if you will, of here's this guy that beat my ass real good. Surely I don't just, leave prison without 1v1ing him again. Or maybe not, it doesn't have to be a 1v1, but there's no way Luffy makes it out of Impel Down without crossing paths with Magellan in some capacity.
I mean, there could be, depending on how exactly, for instance, Crocodile might get them out by digging holes through the floors.
That's fair.
They could just bypass. Now, Magellan could just be standing out front for the next couple of hours for no reason or whatever, but I expect Magellan to have wandered off into a bathroom now because he seemed to be in a pretty bad spot while he was handing over Ace. So I wouldn't be surprised if the actual way this happens is that we might even get a shot of Magellan sitting on the toilet as or the outside shot like we get with Domino looking into his office as you hear the of Magellan going to work in there. And maybe we'll get something like that as Luffy sprints by or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivan and Inazuma, and we'll just avoid it entirely.
No
rematch to be found.
It seems like a very Oda thing to do. I approve. Speaking of Inazuma, what do you think of? Well, it's not much to really talk about character wise, but what do you think about the Devil Fruit?
I think Snip Snip is cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It should just go Edward Scissorhand mode and start cutting up literally anything you want ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then have whatever I think the other facet of it was that whatever you did cut up can be handled like paper, basically. So even if like these heavy stone floors that he cuts into are just suddenly able to be maneuvered like paper, and I guess for some reason glued to things like paper. There's really no reason that they should be staying up in front of the grate of the staircase like that, but hey, go off, King, I guess. Especially with, there's got to be some sort of like mechanism blowing the gas into the room constantly. Mm-hmm. So if it's really paper, then it should just be blowing over. But I guess fuck me and fuck anybody else with a brain. So
it has the properties of paper and concrete.
Of paper and glue and Elmer's.
It just has really good hold, I
have a question.
Go ahead.
Was Inazuma at any other point a female?
You know what?
I feel like I have a distinct memory of Inazuma, which, I mean, knowing Ivan's Devil Fruit, unsurprising completely. But I feel like I have a memory of Inazuma being a woman, maybe like the first time we meet them when out in the frozen wilderness that was level 4, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Inazuma wandered up as a woman there. Am I crazy?
I can't verify that fact specifically, but like, no, you're not crazy. I don't think you're crazy. I can't confirm or deny like whether or not you're correct. I don't remember. But like, I would venture to be like, yeah, that sounds possible. That sounds about right. For the sake of it, I might as well just say, yeah, you are right.
And I'll believe you.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, I feel like I have a very distinct memory of Inazuma being a female at some point. Maybe it's just the ambiguous nature of the way they dress, but because like the hairstyle doesn't change if it did happen, and the body style doesn't seem to change all that much either. But I don't know. I feel I was going to go back and check for myself, and then I was like, nah, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. It is right. So
I'm sure we'll notice it down the world. Yeah, down the world, we'll notice it. Or Ivan would just probably point it out, or something. Narrator Kun or someone would just point it out.
Because Inazuma also has that the dichotomy to their design with the half orange and the half white in the first place. So
seems
switching
on brand.
Between seems very having Inazuma wake up one day and just choose to have Ivan shoot him up with the male hormone on this day feels like a rather appropriate thing for the personality and the general theme that character is.
Do you think that happens more often than you think down there? Like, instead of, someone coming down there and just wishing to have one change from the opposite gender, there's someone who's just like, I'm just feeling really feminine today. Can you just shoot me up with some estrogen? And then tomorrow they wake up, it's like, I really want to be a man today. Can you shoot me up with some extra
I would say absolutely. I would say absolutely. Ivan is all about being your true self, no matter who you are. And if you wake up every other day and want to change your gender, then sure. Also, speaking of which, that fucking guard that Ivan changes from a man to a woman.
Yeah.
I don't understand this, man. Like, I mean, more power to him, I guess. But Ivan just kind of makes the assumption that this man just wanted to be a woman his entire life.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about this.
No context into this person's life whatsoever. Ivan walks up to this guard, and as a form of threatening / a way to get the guard to cooperate with them, Ivan goes, I'm going to show, or you should be true to your inner self. And you know what's coming next. So he turns this male guard into a female and hands a mirror to her now her, and she goes, oh my god, I'm I'm beautiful. You're right. This is everything I've always wanted. I've always wanted to be a gorgeous brunette with long legs and huge bazungas. So it's just instantly like a switch has been flipped in this person's brain. They are now completely cooperative with the party here, and they happily walk them right to the cell where Jinbei and Ace are being kept. Ace, of course, no longer being there. But this is nuts. Ivan is wild for this one. Or Oda is wild for this one. I don't know who to blame here, but...
So I need to make a confession. I forgot about the scene just described to me. My brain went back to the pirate that attacked Ivan that introduces the whole level 5.5 whatever.
That's Inigo Montoya. I'll never forget him.
I was like... Because I think I mentioned it in the last recording too. I was like, does anyone else think that Ivan is just like... Oops, sorry. Ivan's kind of wild for like just using sex change as a weapon. Yeah,
unconsenting victims. By the way, Ivan.
I'm like, this definitely has to be morally gray. Like, you can't just walk into somebody and be like, "You're a new you now," and I'm like, why are we weaponizing this? I don't understand. I feel like there's a contradiction here somewhere.
It makes sense for the power, obviously, to have this be a way you use it against people, but but to then make the audacious claim that he's revealing your inner self to you is ridiculous. It's crazy. But as we learn prior to this, Ivan having been a part of this revolutionary army now, I guess all caution and everything is thrown to the wind in terms of rules. Who cares? I'm going to do whatever I want.
Gender isn't real.
Yeah, the only rule is there are no rules. So in the end, not too surprising. But Ivan, come on, do better, man.
Yeah, I'm on the same bandwagon. I'm like, bro, like... You gotta ask first. You can't just do this to people. Like,
it's
sure,
different if this was an adversary that you were fighting to the death or something I'm like that.
This is weird. Like, this is a weird weaponized tool you have here. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
You think the hormones wear off? You think it's temporary?
Oh, absolutely not. They are permanent changes. Absolutely not.
I mean, it would explain something like Inazuma, though. I guess a little more so, where you inject them one day, it wears off after a couple days, and if you want to keep being a woman or a man, you gotta get a re-upper, and then Ivan has this whole pseudo drug ring business going on with their hormones.
Why is Ivan becoming the villain the more we talk about him?
Well, we've now learned. He's been a commander in this revolutionary army, and by kind of the rules of the world, the revolutionary army is this third party that pirates don't seem to like, and the Navy definitely don't like. So, they're kind of in this villainous area also. I don't know that they're necessary. They're in the middle zone, I guess. Not quite good guys, not quite bad guys, but from especially the perspective of pirates, they don't seem to be good characters either. The Navy worse, because the Navy actively imprisons people like pirates, but the Revolutionary Army doesn't seem to be doing pirates any favors either, it seems.
Well, I mean, pirates inherently are like, they're not like the Straw Hats where, like, Straw Hats are like mostly good guys. Like, it's occasional pirate activities here and there, but like in comparison to other things that could happen, they're pretty tame. And I feel like the Revolutionary Army is like not the same boat, but like I feel like this should be more or less the good guys, quote unquote, because like off the rip, they're already like, going against the world government, which we know is corrupt and has all these other things wrong with it, going against celestial dragons, which, eat the rich or whatever. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, they have to be the good guys, right?
Perhaps I feel like I've kind of, in the limited view we've had for the Revolutionary Army, it kind of seems like they've just been this entity that wants to just raise everything to the ground and build anew on top of it, scorched earth style. But the pirates don't want that. they want to keep living this golden age of pirate life that they have, that Gold Roger essentially has afforded to them. And it doesn't feel like the Dragon and his army are necessarily in that same boat. We have very little to go off of in terms of what their actual goals are right now. Besides, I think way back when we learned that they had, they'd had numerous battles with the Navy and had maybe taken out some outposts or something at one point. I don't remember. It's been forever since we had those sets of episodes, but I don't know. It's always felt like it's to me, in my own headcanon, it seemed like they've been a very like, screw everything. We're gonna start fresh by ourselves. We're gonna build the world up now type of deal.
I guess, that's not inherently good nor bad, potentially. I don't know. I guess I'm hopeful. Audience, let us know what you think. A Revolutionary Army, good guys, bad guys, in between, anti-heroes, can't tell. Let us know. I'm curious on your thoughts.
I'm feeling justified also in Ivan with Ivan's proclamation of, so eventually in this talk of the Revolutionary Army, Luffy spills the beans that Dragon is his father off the rip. I shouldn't even say eventually. As soon as Dragon's name comes out, Luffy is on the ball like, yeah, that's my dad. And then Ivan goes on this like 20 to 30 second explanation of what his role in like the Revolutionary Army was and how he feels about Dragon before he realizes what Luffy says. And everyone does this double take in the entire room. And it just but then Ivan, we take a peek inside Ivan's head, and he's going through all these different scenarios, and he says to himself, well, if Luffy is brother or is son of Dragon, then surely Ace is also son of Dragon. And I know we had this conversation a few weeks ago when Ace mentioned to Garp how he resented his father because his father was whatever, wanted criminal or whatever. And I know at the time that I fully believed that Dragon was said unbelievably villainous criminal or whatever. And I was told that this was not the case, that they have different father. Can still be the case. I'm just saying I feel vindicated for my feelings because Ivan also thinks that way now. But should I be siding with the guy who unconsentingly makes people switch their genders? I don't know. Probably not. But I will, because I require validation.
Krish is going through a bunch of mental gymnastics right now and emotional turmoil. He's fighting his own battles.
I do. I have a lot of emotions right now. Most of them involve spilling milk all across the table.
Interesting. What's the saying? Don't cry over spilled milk?
Something like that.
Anyway, so yeah, it boggles my mind that like everyone on this planet seems to know Luffy's dad except Luffy, and I'm like, how do you just like not hear? Yeah, like how does like everyone have some type of detail about Dragon in some capacity, even if it's just like persona or whatever? And I'm like, it really took your grandpa to explain what your dad's been up to back in Water 7 for you to like find all this out finally after, he's like 16 or whatever. I'm like, bro, what rock are you sleeping under?
The rock where he was abandoned by both of his parents on this fucking no-name island in the middle of the East Blue or wherever. The part where he hasn't met either of them, I think. I don't, at least Dragon. He hasn't met Dragon at all. Don't know about his mom yet, but seemingly hasn't met either of them in any capacity. So the first time Garp mentions it, when he shouldn't have, is the first time Luffy heard anything about either of his parents in the series so far. So the fact that up to this point, he has no idea who Dragon is or his personality or the people he associates with or what his goals are is not a surprise, because Luffy is learning with the viewer at this point.
It's definitely one of those like transitionary stages episode wise. It's really just a shift in the plot where it's like, we're going to go save Ace. We had a mild speed bump on the way over, but we're still on our way there, allegedly. Just got make a left back 5 miles back or whatever. So yeah, Luffy resolves that, okay, so I clearly missed the window to break Ace out of prison. He's already on his way out the door. I'll just go follow him to his execution platform up top. How does this make you feel?
It makes me feel like it's not going to happen.
Really? Like the execution, or like we're going to stop him before he even gets there? Or
no, I believe the execution is going to go through. I don't think Ace makes it out of this alive.
Really?
I think there's no shot, no cap on a stack that Luffy gets, maybe even remotely close to the said executioner's platform. Because if he does, he's toast. With the amount of fire force that's up there, firepower that's up there, you're gonna have all warlords. You got 3 admirals. Garp as a vice admiral will be there. Sengoku and Goat-kun will surely be there. Everybody is going to be there. And whether Whitebeard shows up or not, who knows? But either way, I'm going to come out and say it that Ace is not making out of this.
Really? You trying to put a little bet on that?
Sure.
I don't know what to bet here.
I know what I know what I want for my end of the bet, but I don't know what you would want.
What do you want? I'm scared.
All right, well, I've tossed this over in my head several times, but it's looking not great for my bet with Devin. And my bet with Devin was that if I won that end, we would watch Summer Wars, the movie by famous movie maker Mamoru Hosoda.
We're getting awfully close to Mary Juan, huh?
Well, I don't think that either of our bets are going to go through. So
interesting.
I'm pretty sure that one's just going to end in a tie.
Interesting.
Either that or we won't find out for a while. Like this bet is slowly turning into the longest con of the entire podcast. But I think, and we have yet to make good on any bet we've made so far. So the fact that we're making more is outrageous. But
hey, man, I'm ready for Space Dandy, whatever you are.
Well, which brings me to what I want after that.
Oh,
I want Space Dandy New Game Plus. I want more Space Dandy episodes because, as you probably found out when you watched the first set of episodes that we haven't recorded, but everybody's watched them, so we just kind of need to do it eventually.
Definitely did not do that.
Well, I don't know how you didn't, because we only canceled like the day of, so I don't know.
We have not gotten a rain check.
Either way, the slight spoiler for is that I only gave them episodes from season 1 of Dandy, so I want to watch episodes from season 2 of Dandy.
All right,
that's what I would offer up here. Maybe that's redundant, and I should come up with something more original. But fuck you, this is my bet.
Okay. I guess the question is, what the hell would I want? What would I want? What would I want? What would I want? What is something that I know most of us don't enjoy, but I do?
Or just something you really want to do. Like, I'm pretty sure most people here will enjoy Summer Wars. I just really want to watch it and talk about it. So you could go that route too. Something you just really want to watch and talk about.
You know what? I wasn't really prepared for this. I can't really think of anything I would want that's like practical. But, in the same vein as your bet.
Or read. You got a manga or some shit you want us to read?
Oh, I mean, yes. But like, I can't make you read the whole thing.
Well, right. I mean, there has to be some reasonable part to it. I don't know.
I'll save that for my recommendation when that eventually comes around. So, there's Christian, Devin, Jordy, me. We could just skip Jordy. All right. In 2 more rotations, it'll be my turn. I'll power far more away to my recommendation. Don't you worry, kids. But yeah, for now, I guess I'll just say, if I were to win, I would want us to watch the Jujutsu Kaisen movie.
All right.
So just so the audience is clear, I'm betting that... What am I betting?
Ace does not die here.
Sure. I'm betting Ace doesn't die here.
And I am going all in on the idea that Ace absolutely bites the dust here. Ace is DED dead.
All right, that's that.
Devin's going to be sad he wasn't here for this one.
I'm sure he's already sad because we got to actually meet Crocodile.
Yeah, Crocky Boy's back very briefly. And for some reason, I don't remember if I mentioned this when we first saw the glimpse of him, but for some reason they let him keep his hook.
Yeah, I didn't recognize it the
hook
first
with
time.
like six guns and other weapons inside of it. that hook, yeah, he still has that on him.
Yeah, when we saw him in these episodes, I just saw his hook casually there. I'm like, come on. I understand it's his hand, but like, surely we could have done something about this.
Rip that shit off. It's not glued on, I'm sure.
I don't know how.
And even if it is, and even if it is, screw him. He's a criminal. We don't care. He's a level 6 criminal. Get that shit out of there.
I personally wouldn't go that far, but I agree. Like, something has to be done.
But then again, we have standards, but like selectively here in this Impel Down Supermax prison, because they're stuffing all these level 6 prisoners, the worst of the worst, scum of the earth, just like 8 of them in the same cell. But anyway, I've ragged on that enough. We've got Crocky Boy again. He's made his own offer to this little party of breakouts here, these prison breakers. That you let me out of here, I'll dig us a hole right through that ceiling. We'll be out of here in no time at all. Stairs, never heard of them. And I can't help but feel like Luffy is going to hate this, but recognize that it's probably his only way to save Ace, and saving Ace is going to be more important to him than the guy who killed him twice and almost started a civil war. Well, basically did start a civil war, but you get the gist.
So, what are your impressions of good guy friendly Croc? Where's your position on that stand?
This friend crocodile arc has been a real roller coaster for me also, because way back when we learn he's here, and it's happened before, obviously. We even poke fun at friend arcs for villains in these sets of episodes, with Ivan pointing out how they faced off in Alabasta to Bon Clay, and Bon Clay's like, well, it goes to show you that anybody can be friends with anybody, and he does his little ballerina dance in front of Ivan and the entire Newkama crowd, which is adorable. But you can't help but feel like a friend crocodile is going to be a little bit of a tougher nut to crack here, because he's just a much more sinister character than Bon Clay is. He has way less nice bones in his body than Bon Clay does. So I'm gonna, as much as I want to say friend crocodile will happen, it's not really feeling that way, because this is a very easy, like, yeah, I'll do a thing for you, maybe, and then I'll just dip, or maybe try and kill you again, even for getting me locked up here.
I concur. Not sure where to stand on good guy Croc, or good guy in air quotes here.
He's not feeling very friend. Not getting a friend aura from him.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with that laugh.
It's here for business. Strictly business.
So when someone comes up to you and goes like, I'm gonna give you $20, and then they go, you probably don't take the $20 from them.
What are you talking about? $20? So what?
Well, you probably maybe you take the $20, but like you take a quick couple steps back just to make sure they don't shank you with a rusty spoon or something like that first.
Maybe if I'm not enamored by the offer of $20, no real repercussion. Not repercussion. No. I'm forgetting words.
No immediately visible retribution for it. Consequence,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's Luffy for you.
That's me. I'll do anything for $20. That's hard over here.
Trying to come clean the house?
$20 is $20, but I'm gonna need a little bit more than $20.
All right. Well, you said $20. You said you'll do anything for $20. So
listen, I gotta stay strong in my class solidarity roots. All right. The working class just can't be slumming over for $20, all right?
We're in the same class.
Are we, though?
Yes.
I don't know. You're the one offering me $20 to clean your home, which is clearly outrageous and an abuse of power. So, I think you're not understanding the power dynamics at play here, Mr. Bourgeoisie.
It's $20. You just said you'd do anything for it. I offered you a scenario, and you're the one who turned your nose up at it and said you have higher standards suddenly.
As I should. Sometimes those standards drop at the, drop of a dime.
Hypocrite.
It's the way of humanity, all right? I'm a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. We're all hypocrites. As long as we stand by our Hippocratic oath, that's what really matters.
I'm not a doctor. Don't compare me to them.
I'm sure you could be one if you tried.
My hands aren't steady enough for that. I'd probably end up cutting some things that I wasn't supposed to.
That's what sutures are for.
That's what? That's
what sutures are for, right?
Oh, I thought. Okay. I mean, yeah, but those also require a very large deal of finesse to them. So
listen, man, with enough sutures and duct tape, you could fix anything. All right.
Now we're talking duct tape. That I can work with. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't remember.
Me neither.
I know last week or, last recording, whatever, I believe it was you. You had some questions about how level 5.5 just existed. And we got a little bit of details toward that. So back in the day, at some point, there was some unnamed prisoner who had a devil fruit that just let him dig holes in tunnels or whatever. And I don't think that person necessarily made, Newkama Land, but they definitely set the foundation and groundwork for Newkama Land. The design was described as something akin to an ant colony, where it's just a network of tunnels and rooms, somehow sandwiched in between two floors. By the way, I don't know how they're working with that, but we got a small answer. Also, we confirmed that there's just a secret entrance on every floor.
Yeah. Contrary to the idea that they just had a bunch of guards working for them, bringing them supplies. They just have secret tunnels to all of the different floors where they just snatch their supplies out from under the noses and nobody misses them ever.
Quite impressive.
Which I guess is fine. I don't really care. It makes sense. Especially if you consider this unnamed prisoner maybe integrated those in the first place also.
Mm-hmm.
Then sure, why not?
I feel like I had a question and I immediately lost it. Right.
Must not have been important.
So we got confirmation of a level 6. That's where Ace has been, right?
Right.
Do you think there's more?
I'm going to go with no. This level has been described as the one where they already keep the secret prisoners. So to have a second, even lower level of secret prisoners feels redundant, I guess. I don't know. We've already got the secret level where, level 5 is the one that's advertised to the world as if you get sent to level 5, you're fucked. You are the worst of the worst. But then we've also got this level 6, and that's where we put the people we don't tell the world about. To have a level below that where it's these are the worst of the worst of the worst, and we just kind of slid them down there. It feels dumb. So I'm going to go with that there's only level 6. Unless there's a level 7 and they keep the Judas of all criminals down there and he's the only one or she that populates that entire level. And if they get out, it's going to be some world-ending scenario. That's the only case I could see maybe a level 7 existing. But anything other than that, it feels silly to have.
Okay, so level 6 is meant for, the worst of the worst. We don't want the world to remember you. We want to erase you from history kind of vibe. And also Death's Row if you're put onto that. What if hypothetical level 7 is for just the ones we can't take out? Somehow you're immortal or super durable. I don't know how that would, work. But what if that's level 7? We're just bro, we can't let you onto the world, but we literally can't kill you. So just here's this dark room. Goodbye.
I would question how they got them there in the first place.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that almost falls in line with my own reasoning for a level 7 of just having the singular worst person on the planet ever be there. But if there was some kind of unbeatable, unkillable, imperishable enemy or set of enemies in this world, I would question why. Why do they exist then?
Just to suffer.
Except to be this, if they got out, world-ending scenario where every person in the world has to come together on some shonen bullshit and take them down, and that's the final boss, and we finally get the power of friendship along the way.
Hold on, what if
maybe
level
the One
7
Piece is on the 7th level?
What if level 7 was where they kept Shiki before he broke out?
I don't feel like it is.
I don't know, man. He's the only guy to break out. Clearly, he's powerful. All right.
I mean, sure, but they didn't really realize exactly how bad it could be.
What if level 7 was meant for Gold Roger?
But they executed him.
Maybe they just made it just in case.
They wouldn't build it in case another Gold Roger comes around. But that's what I'm saying. The notorious criminal. They just stick him down as level 7. There's no level 7. It feels extremely redundant for there to be a level 7 in basically any capacity.
Okay, so the only real couple things we need to touch upon was Buggy and Mr. Thrift slowly making their way up out of the prison. I think we left off with them in level 3? Level 4?
I think that they're in level 4 because they're running through the boiling pot, and then they finally make it back up to level 3.
Yeah,
the sandy desert or the dusty desert or whatever.
And
so they're having their own duo of adventures here.
What if they break out just straight up, everyone's so distracted and just walk out the front door?
I mean, at this rate, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised with the slow pace that they're making and the somewhat probably about to be rapid pace that Luffy's group is about to make. I wouldn't be surprised if we skip a little bit of time here and we end up with them all outside at the same time. Maybe not necessarily meeting each other, but being there, and Luffy's party causing a ruckus, and Mr. 3 and Buggy, maybe they try and sneak out, something will go wrong because they're bumbleheads and they gotta fight. Maybe they do meet up with Luffy's party, but I'm pretty sure they're all gonna eventually end up in the same place, being the top floor at the same time. Because I'm sure they'll all escape to Marineford together. Somehow Mr. 3 and Buggy are gonna get tied into going to Marineford with them. Because there'll probably only be one ship in the dockyard or whatever. and 3 and Buggy will have no choice but to hop on or risk sitting in Impel Down any longer. And Luffy will be like, all right, no, I can already see the bit. They're gonna get out. They're gonna get on the boat. They're gonna start sailing it, and the two of them are gonna lean against the railing or something. They're gonna sit down and be like, "Whoo! We made it! I can't believe we broke out of Impel Down." And then somewhere in the background, Luffy will be like, "Onwards to Marineford!" And they're gonna go. Their faces are gonna drop, and they're gonna go, "You what now?
Fucking what?
The biggest prison, and you want to go to where
somewhere worse?
You want to go to where all the Marines? All right, just kill me. I'm jumping.
The ocean can have me and my double fruit.
Yeah, take me away.
But I think that's it, right? Not much else really to cover.
More or less, I suppose. Ace does try to fight back
he did so very impressively, by the way. Dude just headbutts Hannibal or whatever, just takes his trident, starts kung fuing people down.
I don't think it was Hannibal. Hannibal's still in the
right. He was just found room. In the closet.
He was found in the closet. He was monitoring the situation. He got super serious because somebody reminded him that his job. I love that stupid fucking bit, by the way, where he's sitting in Warden Magellan's chair, and the two guards are talking to him, and he's inspiring as usual of how he's gonna overthrow Magellan, thinking out loud about. I think he has a picture of 3, Bon Clay and Buggy on the desk or whatever. He's contemplating what he's gonna do with them or whatever it is. And the 2 guards are just standing there Magellan doesn't like this when you sit in his chair. And then the second guy goes, yeah, we're definitely going to tell him. You're going to get in a lot of trouble for this. And Hannibal mostly ignores them, but it's just these absolute snitches, no loyalty in these guards, man. They're just we're going to tell Magellan on you. There's no shot you don't get in trouble for this. Stupid, silly little bit that I giggled probably more than I should have at. But no, yeah, Ace makes this sort of escape attempt that probably would have worked out if Magellan wasn't the one standing there, because he's a giant of a man and his entire hand basically covers Ace's entire body. and he just pins Ace to the ground because he's still got cuffs on. But Ace makes short work of like almost a dozen guards or something like that with the one trident that he steals from one of them. But yeah, I mean, but he doesn't, because there's really nowhere else to run. He tries going back to the elevator because he knows Luffy's down on level 6 now. So they get the call on the snail chat phone from Hannibal or whatever officer was in the surveillance room that Luffy, Ivan, and third name evades me, Inazuma, are on level 6 now. And obviously Ace overhears that because they're on speakerphone. So he tries to break out, but he goes running for the elevator because he's going to go try and save Luffy now, I guess, in this reverse situation. But Magellan says, no, you're coming with me, fool. And he pins him to the ground real quick, ending that. And after that, Ace looks very defeated otherwise because he knows he stands no chance against Magellan in this current state anyhow.
It really caught me off guard, just like the sheer size difference between Magellan and Ace. When he like finally pins him, I'm like, holy shit, you're huge.
Yeah. I mean, we already kind of knew Magellan was a giant bear of a man, but they probably exaggerated a lot for the purposes of showing how weak and in a horrible position Ace is right now. So, I mean, they do this a lot. Not even just in One Piece, in media across the entire world in every form. It's all about perspective. Like, whenever we're not fighting things, even Zoro looks like a noodle. You know, he's got noodle arms. The muscle is not defined on that man whatsoever until it's time for him to draw the swords and start actually fighting somebody and getting serious.
No, same forget that. It's when he uses his two gorilla technique. He's like, hold on, just gotta pull a SpongeBob here and inflate my biceps.
Yeah, when he pulls out his anchor arms and he goes gorilla mode. But even like with Bon Clay, you know, in the previous episodes when he's shirtless and we're going around saving Luffy and fighting off army wolves, he looks shredded. But when he's all wrapped in bandages, he looks like a noodle. And they do this to Luffy all the time too. It's across the board. But
fair enough.
But they do the opposite this time, where they make Magellan look probably bigger than he's already a large character. We knew that, but he wasn't like a 4-story building towering over a normal sized human before. But that's what he looks like here because they want to put Ace in this weak looking position. So his entire hand covers Ace's entire body as he pins him to the ground.
You know, now that you say that, I'm curious what your thoughts are about like the shifts in Ace, I guess, for lack of a better way of clarifying that. When we meet Ace, he is this super cool big brother character, right? He's got it all: charisma, the smile, that fucking smile, the cool power, the skills, the experience, blah blah blah. And then, you know, next time we see him, he's a puddle of a man, and you know, he's so weak and powerless. And I'm curious if you have any thoughts on that.
I mean, it's a fall. It's a fall from grace. You know, this is what happens when you have things just systematically stripped away from you. Your freedoms, can't use his powers. He knows what the situation outside is going to look like, what it does look like, this impending war that essentially is all caused by his capture. Not to mention the loss he suffers at the hands of Blackbeard, which I'm sure Ace has probably not tasted defeat in quite a long time, given he has such a broken fucking devil fruit that I'm sure he has not been severely challenged by a lot of adversaries. So to have this guy who is the antithesis of devil fruit just basically wipe the floor with him, like there was seemingly no contest between the two of them, and to end up in this situation, to have the final nail in the coffin be, oh, now my little brother that I care for so much is in here risking his life to save me, is just this absolute crushing weight on this it would ruin just about anybody, really. There's so many things that have happened to him, so many emotions I'm sure that are going through him, that this is what makes sense. It makes for very interesting storytelling, because I'm sure as the execution progresses, we're just gonna see more of this, and there'll be a moment where Ace probably sets eyes on Luffy for the last time before the axe comes down, or however they decide to do it, whether they put a gun to the back of his head, however it is. There will come a moment, and I'll tear up like a fucking baby when Luffy crests a hill or something like that and sees Ace on that platform with the axe to his neck, and he can do nothing about it. And Ace will look at him, and it'll be the last moments, and Ace will probably smile at him, breaking me and Luffy even further. But this is what, because I'm pretty sure I'm right about Ace being executed. It will have taken close to 500 episodes probably, but these are the sorts of stakes that me and Devin have been clamoring for since the beginning. This is the repercussions of actions, not necessarily Luffy's own, but to have the world actually show stakes for severe actions, to have consequences for the way characters act finally, and not just get off with this Deus Ex Machina. Oh, I happened to stumble upon this character, in Ivan's case, that just happens to be able to cure this poison. Or in all the way back in Alabasta, Luffy gets 2 different holes punched in his chest. He gets a hole punched in his chest, and also he gets completely dried up, but all the moisture sucked out of his body, only for something to come along and save his ass. So, but this looking much, much, much more bleak for Ace. And this is good. This is good for the show. I think this is the turning point for the show, where we turn a little bit less. We dial back on the kiddie stuff. I'm sure it'll still be there, but we dial back on the children power of friendship stuff, and we start diving into more of the seriousness of the world, which we've already kind of done. We've gone through a mini arc of where human trafficking was a heavy thing on it. We're learning more about it in the world as it goes on. We're diving through an entire prison right now filled with the world's worst criminals, and seeing what sorts of government corruption happens in here. We just learned about this dude who went around just cutting all of these prisoners because he just felt like it. He just had an insatiable bloodlust, and he knows nobody's going to care if he just kills a bunch of prisoners because nobody remembers these people anyway. So we're slowly getting to this point where there are some darker themes to the show finally. I think it's taken way too long to get here, but now that we're here, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see where we go.
I'm ready for Ace to die. Do it already. Pull the trigger.
Kill him right now. Why even wait? Just throw him overboard. Time to the anchoring and sing him straight to Davy Jones's locker. Shoot him on the way down too. Buggy bomb his ass.
I guess my follow-up question is, why Ace?
What do you mean?
If we assume you're correct and Ace is going to die and get executed and blah, 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 why Ace? Why does it have to be him? Why not any other character?
I mean, it didn't necessarily need to be Ace. He's just the one who's been put in the scenario. In the scenario, it could have been anybody. Bon Clay could have been the one on the execution platform for all I cared. Any sort of person that the Straw Hats have gotten cozy up to could have been up there. It could have been Rayleigh up there for all I care. Rayleigh is a character who we've met. We've had a chance to get a feeling for him. The Straw Hats have bonded with him. They consider him a friend. He's helped them out already a bunch of times. If Rayleigh ended up on that platform, I still would have been happy. This just has Ace being who he is. Just it holds the most impact probably than someone like Rayleigh or Bon Clay, because we've met Ace before. We had all that interaction with him in Alabasta. He's family to Luffy. One of the 3 he has left besides, the family that you make with the Straw Hat Pirates. The Blood family, if he even is that, I'm still convinced he is, but if you guys are anything to go off of, not be. Either way, he has like 2-3 remaining family members in this world, and one of them is about to be executed, probably is going to get executed. That holds weight with Luffy's character development. Luffy has not had a whole lot of personality development in 450 episodes. He's learned things here or there about like how to be a good captain and how to look after his crew and to admit his own weaknesses and stuff. But this is on a different level. A family member, one of 3 people you hold dear in this world to that extent is about to be executed in the most public way possible. And that holds a lot of potential character development within those consequences, those actions those events that are about to take place. So I would say that this is it's obviously a very deliberate choice by Oda, because this is the decision that would hold the most weight outside of executing a whole Straw Hat member. Maybe like if Sanji or Zoro was up there, maybe that would be more impactful because we spent 450 episodes with them. But either way, this is the best candidate for the most gut-wrenching character development this show has seen so far, is what I would say.
Okay. Well, without further ado, next week we're watching 443 to 445.
Before we go on, did you see him?
No way. There's no way.
There is.
No shot.
There is.
Where?
So, I'm going to blow your mind with this one.
Oh my God.
There's not just one instance. There are 2 instances of my boy. And we learned that Panda Man last week was on level 5 with Ivan, although his name wasn't crossed out. So maybe they just haven't discovered him. They haven't checked up on him in his cell yet. But Panda Man, my boy, is in Newkama Land with all the homies chilling on level 5.5. So both instances come when Luffy awakens from his his struggles, not his slumber, his struggles with this recovery. It's what he's as you might be guessing at this moment, he's standing in the crowds. The first part is kind of hard to tell. It's been a while since we actually saw Panda Man, so I thought this might be an opportune time. I just didn't expect to see him twice in the same one. Luckily, the first time was when I was looking very diligently and actually pausing the video to try and find and see if I could find him. And there he was, very few frames of him. When Luffy shouts for food out the door, we get quick flashes of the crowd outside the door being blown away by the sheer force of his vocal cords. And within one of those quick frames, there is a Panda Man. He is sitting there. He is standing there getting blown away by the sheer force of Luffy's willpower, heart nipples and all. The second time is a little bit more noticeable because they're doing, it's when Luffy is emerging from his den after having been fed 3 days worth of food. And the food is spreading throughout his body and puffing up his different body parts again, giving his skin that healthy tanned glow again, which, God, I wish I had. And they're doing a bunch of slow pans over the audience again. And sure enough, basically front and center is Panda Man once more. 2 pandas. I stopped looking hard after the first one because I thought to myself, what are the odds that they do it twice in one episode? But the Mad Lads did it. They did Panda Man in 2 episodes, or twice in 1 episode, within like 2 minutes of each other.
Insane.
Completely.
Can't believe I had 2 opportunities. I missed both of them.
The first one is hard. It's a pretty quick, like, half-second flash of him, more or less, if you're just watching normally.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Now we can move on. Thank you for coming to my Panda Talk.
So yeah, just reiterate, next week, 443 to 445. I don't have any quotes. What about you?
Well, I said one of them with the 2 snitches. There's Bon Clay in 440. I mean, obviously you could go with the basic, hang in there, Straw-chan, you have to live. And then everyone else also calling out. But before that, when he starts really getting into it, the three goons check up on him after a couple of hours, and then Ivan comes in and everyone else comes in eventually. Bond collapses at one point, but then he gets up again and starts walking up to the door. He's like clawing at the chains and stuff, and he goes, "For more than 10 hours, Strachan has been fighting against his own destiny for his life in this way, that I shouldn't give in either." And then he reinvigorates himself, and we get more "hang in there," and he draws everyone in Newkama to tears, and they all start cheering with him for the next like 7 hours or something. And it's just motivational Bond Clay is all. And then I'm gonna channel some and do Devin a favor and just go crocodile laugh. Because goddamn it, man, what an iconic laugh. Put that shit on a 10-hour loop and I'll fall asleep to it.
You know, I feel the exact same way of except with Bond Clay just saying "Gambare," and as he runs out, everybody's like "Gambare, Gambare,"
coughing up blood, collapsing.
Bond Clay, the truest bro I've ever met in my life. But yeah, that's it for quotes. No fan mail. Please send us some stuff. I like reading your emails and whatever else. I like it. And onto the grab bag. Crispy, you might
you're
like
missing the important part.
What important part?
The one in between the quotes and the fan mail, you goon. The golden ham. We can do a golden ham. You're just going to skip golden ham? What's wrong with you?
Oh my God.
You fought for this once upon a time.
I'm sorry. I lost sight of what's important in life.
You've lost your way.
Lost my Okama way. All right, so golden ham. Yeah, I don't know who to vote for this week. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, I think there's an easy answer with just giving Bond Clay the golden ham again. And I like Bond Clay as much as the next guy, but I also like trying to award other people with commendable activities as well. But on the flip side, there aren't many other people who make commendable actions in this episodes besides Bond Clay. The only other one I feel like I kind of give it to is maybe Ace for just what he's going through. You know, finding that last shred of desire to maybe fight back and try and reach Luffy or make Luffy's job easier by kicking a bit of ass until he's stopped by Magellan. But Bond Clay, I mean, he sets off this. I complained about it earlier and how like it's kind of silly, but he's still a bro. Like, come on, he's standing there for 10 hours screaming his lungs out like he's at a fucking metal concert.
I'm gonna be real, Christian. You're putting up a really big fight and big argument. You ain't gotta try that hard. I'll vote for Bond Clay any day of the week.
Maybe I'm just trying to justify it to myself because I came in here and I wrote down it feels kind of hard to give anyone the ham besides Bond Boy, but like in my heart, I guess I just didn't want to give it to him. A, the second week in a row, and B, a third time.
Hey man. I'm here to make records. Make
the argument. It's hard to go against. You know, that's all I'm saying. The only other one, I guess I lied. The only other argument that could be made is maybe Luffy for having the willpower to power through and cut the time in half for his recovery. But nah.
I agree with you. 100%.
Bon voyage.
Bond Clay back at it again with the third time overall. Yeah, is it 3 weeks in a row?
No, we gave it to Magellan the week before last. But excuse me, I believe the time before that was Bond again for his reintroduction.
Bond Clay setting records out here on one piece of the line with the 3-piece.
Well, I think we've given out 3 before. Someone's gotten 3 before, surely.
Has to be Luffy at this point, right?
Yeah, I'm sure a few of the straws have 3 by now, but yeah.
I don't know. What are the odds of him breaking the all-time record with 3 weeks in a row and 4th overall?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he probably doesn't get involved next week. He's currently passed out on the floor of Newkama Land and sort of uninvolved in the adventure going forward right now. He might show back up when we get back up to the surface They'd be like, hey, I can't believe I caught up to you guys, or something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see, or maybe they go back. Maybe they go back to Newkama Land and they pick him up in the first place, and then they make their way up to the top. But they might also not have the time to do that, because if they take Crocodile's offer, they might just be like, or Crocodile might be like, what the fuck? Why would I do that? I'm getting out of here. You're gonna either follow me or die. It's up to you. So
more importantly, I want to see that trader ever again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Make a point, but I'm willing to push the propaganda machine. I'm going to try next week.
No bond next week. No bond.
All right, so Golden Ham, Bon Clay. Well deserved. Now for the grab bag.
Now.
Yeah, this one's all you, buddy. Meow. Grab bag, meow.
Right now. It's all me. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's all you. You got the bag. It's all you.
Oh, where'd you leave it?
No. It's not where we left it. It's where did you get the new one after last time?
What happened last week? Oh, right. Someone like farted all over it or something? Or was it covered in poison?
Last I remember, actually, you know what? That might have been it. Last I remember, it was just Devin sweating through it.
That does sound like called for a new bag.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a new bag. Was I supposed to? Was it my turn?
I know I'm not to be trusted.
Hand me all the ping pong balls with the names written on them.
All right. Just gonna just give you the solo cup right here.
Yeah. The first one I land will be the one that we do. All right.
Ooh,
missed that one. All right. Hey, nope.
Ow. Okay. Can you aim for the table?
I'm sorry.
Eye.
Look. I'm way better when I'm drunk. Beer pong is meant to be played drunk. There's a reason the alcohol is in the name. All right. You just have to be patient with me.
Jesus.
You know, I'm shotgunning this. All right. There. What's the one that's in there?
Say? It's a little smudged because, you know, ink and beer don't mix very well, but I think it says recommendation.
Oh, well, that makes it my turn, right?
Yep.
You know, I haven't done much exploration in my media lately. But what I have done is something I don't usually tend to do, which is go back and re-watch or replay things a lot of times. I feel
Fair
like
enough, I wouldn't either.
I don't generally like I like things, and you know, things are things I really enjoy, but I don't tend to go back to them even if I really enjoy them a lot of times, just because I feel like I'd rather try and move on to something that I might also find equally enjoyable, or just to experience as many things. Like people watch like all these whatever show, like How I Met Your Mother or Scrubs or something, and they tell me they've watched it for the 10th time, and I'm like, bro,
dude, people with The Office,
what is wrong
animals,
with you?
all of them.
Like I guess I can understand being comfortable with rewatching something, or people, the most common excuse people have for something like this is, I just throw it on in the background while I'm like doing my homework or I'm folding laundry or something. I'm like, because I've seen it 10 times already, I don't need to pay that much attention. I'm like, just maybe
put on music
put or
on
something.
Our podcast.
That's what music. Yeah, put on our podcast. Listen to our podcast. One Piece with a Lime, fool. What are you doing?
Yeah, man, give us those views. We need
music.
them.
That's what music is for, not a show. Because then you get distracted when you have a show. But I mean, you can make the same art. I'm going in circles. Anyway. This is exactly what I did. What I'm saying I don't usually do is what I've been doing recently. So I started another run on a game that I really enjoy. Easily top 3 game I've ever played. Kind of fits in with a certain theme that's been going on in the last couple of months on this podcast that doesn't get recorded, but I've brought to the table every week since a certain game came out.
Oh, what game would that be, huh?
Every week before the podcast since it came out, I've brought an Elden Ring topic of the week to the table. It never gets recorded because I'll always talk about it before. Once or twice it has. There's even a little snippet in the beginning of this episode if it decides to make it in. Dylan, that's on you. But every week since it released, all the way back in February, I've brought some sort of new Elden Ring news. After completing Elden Ring, I got in the mood for Souls games, and before Elden Ring, I played 2 of their the previous 2 games, Sekiro and Bloodborne. Sekiro, also a very good game, but I love the shit out of Bloodborne. I don't know what it is. I do know what it is. The setting, the the enemies you fight, the atmosphere of it all, music, top notch. I mean, the music across most Souls games is just mwah. But I kept, as I was playing Elden Ring, I kept feeling this little voice in the back of my head saying like, man, you should really just go play Bloodborne again. That game is so good. So finally I did. After finishing Elden Ring, I played one other game, I think, and then I started up a Bloodborne run again. And man, that game just feels so good. I love this game so much. I think my favorite thing about Bloodborne though is the weapons. They call them trick weapons in the game, and they take one weapon and it has a second form of some kind, which happens occasionally in Elden Ring, but I love the designs of all the weapons in Bloodborne. There doesn't feel like there's any one weapon that feels useless. It feels like you can use every single weapon in the game as long as you have the build for it. That's one thing I wish Bloodborne did have, was like a comprehensive respec system, where you could just reset your stats and be able to use other things. Which is something Elden Ring had, which was great. But I love the game so much, and having gone and replayed it, I'm like 3/4 of the way through the game. It's great. I'm using weapons that I didn't use the first couple times I played the game. This would be like the 4th or 5th time I run through the game now. Originally, I did all the endings, so I ran through 4 times to get the 4 different endings. But now this is me going back after a couple of years and just re-experiencing the game. And I love it just as much as I did before. So if you have, especially recently, played Elden Ring, but have somehow not gone back and played a lot of the other Soulsborne games, play Bloodborne. Bloodborne is so much fun. Elden Ring is fresh on the brain, but it'll be something I'll have to mull over with time. But Bloodborne might still be higher on my list of favorite games than Elden Ring is. I'm not going to lie. Even though it's like 8 years old now.
Wow. All right. You're here first. Lay's recommendation, Bloodborne. Purchasable wherever you get your Bloodborne needs from.
Yarnum. The Yarnum store.
All right. Guess that's it. We're going to wrap this up. Wow, we really went another hour and a half recording, just 2 of us, huh? How do we keep doing this?
Yes.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, thank you for listening. And without further ado, feel free to follow us and message us and all that cool stuff on Instagram and Twitter at PandaSightings. Feel free to email us anything you want ever at pandasightings@gmail.com. And we got this new thing called Buy Us a Coffee if you felt like financially supporting us. All the links are in our bios and a link tree and stuff like that. But Buy Us Coffee, you can send us a couple bucks. You buy us coffee. You can send a little message if you want. There's also I think they call it a membership option where, you just become a monthly subscriber, essentially. Shout out to everyone who has, donated to us so far. We appreciate you. We love you. We also love all the people who have not donated because you make it all worthwhile. We love the messages. We love doing this for you guys and for ourselves. And yeah.
All of you out there, keep the engine running. Don't you worry.
Yeah, man. You're the gasoline in our V8 cylinder engine, and
we're not
know
a V8.
Gas expensive.
We're not a V8.
Should have had a V8. Dump's forehead.
They're gross. V8s are not good.
When I feel like when they first launched, there was a couple neat flavors, mostly like fruit-based ones. The tomato shit is god awful.
Yeah, it's gross. Don't put tomato in drinks, guys.
Yeah, Bloody Marys,
awful.
Abomination. I don't get it.
Anyway, that's it. Get lost.